Maybe,
Well,
I
my
guess.
experience with Uber was, well, not a lot, but the few times that I would use it, they're generally older people, just messing
Extra jobs
around.
or whatever.
So they probably don't want me. They've been told to stay away, and so I get they don't want to be in close proximity. So I mean, I get it. So I'm sure that their workforce has been
Maybe.
diminished.
What was your experience, Harrison?
Well, to
Tell us your
get
story.
to
Oh, in
well,
Florida,
hold on.
and back up. You're about an hour from our house is about an hour from the airport.
Yes, I know.
Listen.
Well, no, people don't know that.
I know. I was gonna. Yeah.
Okay.
So when we got there, to tell the entire story, I'm at the airport, right? We get to the security at the Indy airport, and
Furious text.
Holden checks his phone and he says, "Hey, Harrison, this place is like an hour and 40 minutes away." I was like, "That can't be right." I was like, "There's no way." I was like, "There's no way it's an hour 40 minutes away. Surely." My parents would have thought of something better, right? I mean, geez. And so I call my mom, or I text my mom like, "Hey, it says this is an hour and 40 minutes away."
It sure would have been nice if someone had let us know before the flight.
It
Like,
sure would have been
what, the
nice.
flight that you're not paying for?
Exactly.
Okay. And the Uber
And
you're not
so-
paying for?
And
Okay.
so the Uber regardless, we land in Tampa and it's an hour and 40 minutes away. We didn't have a whole lot of traffic, but the Uber was one of the best Ubers I could have had, and it's only because he got in the car. He said, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "I'm good. How are you?" And he was like, "I'm good." Didn't talk the rest of the way. It was lovely. I just put in my AirPods, listened to a podcast, let him do the driving, and it was all good.
Yeah, see, they were like, well, they don't want to go that far. I was like, dude, they get paid by the mile or whatever. They get paid. So whether they're taking you somewhere it's actually better for them because they go,
Only managing one person.
yeah,
in the car.
you're managing one ride for an hour 45 versus however many 10-minute trips. So I'm sure they're loving it.
The ride back was more difficult because we had to leave by 6:30. I wake up. I'm expecting to get an Uber or a Lyft because it's kind of that weird morning time where like people are waking up, but I don't know if they're working that like it's that weird morning time where I think they could be working. They might not be. I don't know. And so I tried Uber for like 20 minutes. Didn't work. Nobody was showing up. Even on the regular rides for the three person rides. And then for the 5-person rides, I was checking. Nobody showed up for those. I had to download Lyft. Looked on Lyft. Nothing was showing up for a time. I called a few taxi cab services. I got a few guys that were less than pleased to hear from me. And they said that they were like an hour out. And I was like, oh, no. I was like, this is not good. And then I got Lyft. Or a driver finally showed up through Lyft. And he was actually dropping somebody off like 10 minutes away. And he was like, yeah, like I thought, why not? Come pick you guys up. It's fine. And we had to fit into his 3-person car, 3-person Mitsubishi, where our luggage barely fit in the car. He literally had to slam his trunk down because I felt so
riding
bad.
the back axle.
I felt so bad because
Bottomed out.
He actually pulled over while pulling out of Anna Maria and was like, "Oh, hold on, guys! It says the trunk is still a little open." And he goes out there and he's just like shoved, like it's like he's having a wrestling match with it. It's like WWE pay-per-view, like getting in there. It was not good. But yeah, it was.
So he was nice enough to take all 4 of you.
He was nice enough to take all 4 of us, and he was a nice guy. I mean, he talked, which whatever, it's fine. I'll have a good old conversation with you.
Right.
But we get to Tampa Airport, and the security line is huge. It is massive to the point where we probably had to wait for like 30 minutes or so, which isn't the worst I've waited for security. When we were flying out of Washington D.C. back from Geneva, we waited for probably like an hour plus, like to get through the security. It was bad, but these people kept getting really angry because this old guy was taking care of the security line because there'd be a wait line over to your left and then the actual line to your right. So when the right line went farther enough, like when it depleted enough, the left line came over and,
Filled in. Right.
And so these people were cutting the waiting line and going straight into the right line. And there was this guy that finally spoke up. He was a big guy. He was like, hey, hey guy, this guy's taking up. They're going through their cheating. He's like, there you got. And so the old guy went over there and yelled at him, and then another guy came over and made them all. And it was just a mess. It was terrible. I don't know what they were trying to do.
You would think that they would have this down. At all the years they've done it, Indy Airport's generally pretty good.
Indy Airport's great.
Bonita Springs can be a little sketchy. It just depends.
Fort Myers, yeah.
Fort Myers. I mean, but I look at this whole, and I get it. They're paid by the hour. I understand that. But you look at the system, you go, you guys are doing the best you can, but there's got to be a better way to do this.
And then to top it all off, we get on the plane, okay? and we sit down in our seats, and Madeline is sitting. You know, she left sitting by the window seat. She's ready to do her word puzzles. You know, she's really into word puzzles now, and she's doing her word puzzles. And there's a mom, bless her heart, that sits in the middle. There are 3 seats. Puts one of her children down to her left, sits in the middle, puts another one down to her right. They are both toddlers, right?
Oh,
and as soon as she places the kid in the window seat, the kid just starts going to town on Madeline's seat, just like kicking it left and right. And before you know it, the mom is just being like, no, like, stop it, no. And I leaned over to Madeline, and I was like, hey, at least she's telling him to stop. She was like, yeah, you think? I was like, I don't know.
Nothing you can do, man. I've been there.
And then the mom,
You're trying to keep him from throwing up.
And then the mom apologized to Madeline and was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm trying my best. And she was like, listen, you're flying by yourself. You're doing God's service right now anyway. So,
yeah.
Yep. And
honestly,
then I didn't finish Tenet either. I didn't finish Tenet. I was 10 minutes away from finishing it, and I didn't finish it.
Finish what?
Tenet, the movie.
Oh, we can watch it here, can't you?
Well, yeah, but I was on the flight and I was in the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a moment.
So I actually, if I did that again, I told your mom this. If it were just she and I or something, I probably would have gone to stayed at an airport hotel the night before and just get up at 6 and roll down
yeah,
there.
we could have done that for you guys. Like put you up in a
Just
hotel,
have you
the
sleep
night
in a
before
room and then blast down, because that's. I mean, by the time you go through all that stuff, and honestly, it's cheap. It would have been cheaper. Well, maybe not with an Uber, but we didn't really think all that through. But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
If I did that again, I probably would have tried to stay in a place closer to, or have you fly out the Friday before. That would have probably been easier too than versus that Saturday. Kind of like the Rhodes did.
Yeah.
They just flew out that afternoon, which actually makes strategic sense because you're not dealing with nearly, I'm sure, all the nonsense. If you fly it in the afternoon, you could probably get a ride out there easier.
Right.
So I thought that they might have trouble. I was pleased.
So there were no
that they did
incidents
well.
on the flight.
Oh, the flight coming in was actually a ride.
Yeah.
Because the flight was we were flying out of
That's that bad storm, remember?
of some rainy water. We were flying
Rainy water.
We were flying out of some rain in Indy, and when we're up during the flight, it wasn't that bad of turbulence. It was just like a regular flight, but towards like the last 20 minutes or so, we fly through just these dark clouds, and there is just so much turbulence. And I'm sitting there like I'm kind of enjoying the ride. I'm like, woo, like feeling, and Madeline's over here. She's like kind of like scared, right? And then I have this old lady to my left who is just deathly terrified. I look over to Madeline. I whisper something funny to her, and then I look over to my left, and this lady's like. And like it's like getting ready. I was like, oh my god! And then by the time that it ended, I thought she was gonna pass out or throw up because she's like sitting like with her head in between her knees, like this, like. Oh. And Madeline was like, say something. I was like, I'm not saying something. I was like, she can figure it out.
You should have made a joke. So you've had a good run, huh? You have all your affairs in order.
I think the Holden and Johnny were right behind us in terms of seating, and I think. Because like this old lady was a part of a group on the plane. I think one of her friends was behind her, and I think during the turbulence, the lady got scared and grabbed Holden's knee, and was like,
what?
She grabbed Holden's knee and was like, oh, and then like pulled away. Was like, oh, I'm sorry, I just get scared during turbulence.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It was funny regardless.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my goodness.
The flight back home, we had Johnny. John almost didn't make it through his boarding ticket. He was in Group A. He easily could have been like Group D, but he hurried up. He got. Let me tell you his stock before his stash before he got on the plane. He went to a local shop and got a ham and Swiss sandwich. Right
at 6 a.m.
Yeah, got a ham and Swiss sandwich. He got Airhead Extreme Bites. He got a bag of Skittles and a cherry Pepsi. And stuffed it all into his bag. By the time we get to the India airport, opens up his bag and starts throwing all of it away in the trash can. He ate all of it during the flight.
Oh my
ridiculous.
god!
Actually, hold on, I take that back. He didn't eat all of it. He actually, for whatever reason, had like probably 50 Skittles in his hoodie pocket, and then he took them out and just threw them away. He didn't even put them back in the bag. I was like,
he's in that bad phase now, and I had an experience this morning when I was doing laundry. You know the Tennessee T-shirt that we made them for all that?
Yeah.
Okay, he clearly used that as a cage liner, and it was in the dirty clothes. And I was like, what on earth are you doing?
Oh my God, that child.
I was like, you got it, buddy. Good Lord.
Yep. He's in that phase.
In that phase where everything's dirty.
We got home. He said, "Hey, he's like, yeah, guys, wait one sec. I gotta go upstairs and make sure Pip is still alive." I was like, well, I
Whoa.
sure hope he's still alive.
Yes, he was. Sam did a great job taking care of
Sam did a
everybody.
great job. So yeah, that's it. That was our trip.